Alright, so I'm Sean Cassidy, and this is the LEGO Halo 2 Anniversary Battle of New Mombasa collaboration. We had about 16 builders for this one, and this is the most buildings we've ever done in a mock. And I've always wanted to do a New Mombasa collaboration, and with the release of Halo 2 Anniversary, I figured it would be a perfect time. So this is based off the new one in the Master Chief Collection. And we've got some buildings here that are direct copies of the ones in game, and then we've got ones that are just inspired by the game. So I'll give you a basic rundown of what's going on here. So basically, the Covenant has come to Earth, and no one knows why, but this is the only city they chose to attack, New Mombasa. So basically, the UNSC is going in through the ground and trying to clear out any Covenant in their way. In the game there's a Scarab here, but unfortunately we don't have that for the mock, but that's alright because we got enough of the vehicles like the Wraith, the tank, the Warthogs, and this is right before the end of the mission, and the big building at the end over there is right, you walk through those doors right before the level ends, so it's pretty cool that we got some of the actual buildings from the game in here.
Yeah, that's a really neat layout you guys got here. So you mentioned the building at the end there. What are some of the other buildings here, and do they have any, significance in the game?
Not too much. I mean, you're definitely seeing a few of these as you fight through the streets and try to go through the city without dying. But essentially, they're just buildings. Most of them are aesthetic purposes. Not really. You can't go inside any of these in the game, but you do recognize some of them, like this one right here. That's it. If you look at this layout in the game, that building is actually on the left in the middle in the game, so it's pretty cool.
Okay. Yeah, so when you guys were setting up the collaboration, how'd you decide on who would build what as far as the buildings and the layout here and kind of what buildings you wanted to do?
Well, I was the coordinator, and basically how it worked was I reached out to some of the builders from last year's mock and asked them, would you be able to do a building, a road, and basically whatever they felt they would be able to do by BrickFair, that's what I gave them. And then I uploaded a ton of reference pictures. We had a lot, because like I said, the game just came out, unlike last year where it was based off a book. So I had tons of reference pictures, and I basically told everyone, alright, just pick a building, copy it exactly from the reference, or just base it loosely off that reference. As long as it has the style of the buildings in the game, it would be really great.
And so something with these collaborations, obviously when you've got so many people working on it, it might be difficult to, manage it all and make sure everything ends up where it is. Did you have this put together before you came here, or did everybody just arrive with their builds and you put it all together at the show?
Putting it together at the show. We right now is actually the first time, aside from yesterday, that we're seeing it all put together, so it gets really stressful wondering whether it'll all work out or not, and thankfully we have 3 days before the public arrives to make sure it all fits together well.
Yeah, well that's a great layout, and then finally I noticed here you've got obviously a lot of Halo minifigs and things like that, and LEGO unfortunately does not have the Halo license, as I know a lot of fans are disappointed. So is that a lot of custom stuff in there? Did you try to stay mostly purist, or how did that work?
Yeah, there is a lot of custom stuff in there. For the Covenant, like the Grunts, the Elites, the Jackals, and the Hunters, those are all brick built by some of them are my designs, and some of them are from other people in the community. And for the UNSC, the Marines are mostly purists, except for Eclipse Graphics faces and Brick Forged torsos. Now, all of the figures pretty much have Brick Arms weapons, with the exception of a few X-39 Brick Customs plasma rifles. But so pretty much for this, we went all out on the third party. No purist here. We weren't holding back on that.
Okay, well, and I think it turned out great, so I think that was a good choice to do, and I appreciate you telling us about the build. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, no problem.